Alex picked him, he said, because he found somewhere that you are distrustful of bankers.
Oh, yeah.
I am too, but
they're the biggest criminals on the planet. You go high enough up, they're literally counterfeiting money. They're just
I'm
printing
distrustful of money. I don't even, it's just...
I just find it hilarious that, like, I just love that thing how we all work all week. And then when you're done, you just get this piece of paper with, like, numbers on it. And then you go down and you hand it to these guys who are some of the biggest criminals ever. We're too big to fail. You deal with it. You pay our tab. Like these absolute gangsters. And just still, throughout all of it, you just hand it to them. These guys who gave, like, homeless people $500,000 loans for houses.
Let's say you don't give them the piece of paper with the numbers on it. I still don't trust it. I don't trust the piece of paper with the numbers on it. That equals my work.
It's a belief system.
Whenever I travel and do gigs overseas, I just...
What would you like, get paid in barley and flour?
Gold. I want the gold standard. Yeah, you know what? That's better, actually.
That would be a good mix. Barley, flour, and some gold. What you really want is silver. You're not going to give somebody... You don't want to give somebody gold for a sandwich. You give them some silver. That's worth like $20.
Right. All right, going back to money. Let's talk about money a little bit. So we went for barley and flour and gold.
Right.
Which to me seemed like things like a troll might give you.
Yeah,
for working.
But then the thing about it is like getting mugged then is way worse. Losing a Citibank card or your debit card, as bad as that is.
It'd be harder to mug you. They have to carry a whole sack of flour.
I know, but the devastation of, like, if people get paid in barley and flour now, right. I'm assuming that you're making your own bread, pastries, whatever the hell you're doing, and right. like you have chickens at home. Like that's like, they used to hang you for stealing horses and cattle rustling because that was the level. It's like, dude, you're fucking with my ability to eat here. So now that we have supermarkets, you can steal a car, which is a modern day horse, and that is a felony. But I mean, yeah, you're not going to get put to death.
Well, just the idea, like when I go overseas and do shows, and I have dollars on me. And I run out of, like, whatever the currency is there, and sorry, I only have dollars. They don't even want them. And it just right. makes you feel how useless and meaningless this stuff is, because once you leave
yeah, they don't believe in that God.
Right.
They don't believe in that. They believe in their God, which right. has their guys on it.
No, but it's dollars.
Right.
I worked for this. It's good.
I would love to talk to somebody in Europe, like, what was it like when you went from, like, Deutschmarks to euros or francs, however you say it, to euros or whatever. Like, I don't even know who's on it and who isn't. I know England still has the pound. Right. But, like, what that was like, when you had that old pair of golf pants in the back where you got a $20 bill with your guys on it, yeah. and then all of a sudden it's the euro. I mean, I don't believe in all of that helps the economy. I just believe that helps the banks sew up more territory. It helps people at the top do business more. I read a book recently where just the way that we approached Japan, and they didn't want to deal with the outside world, and how we just were like, no, you're going to deal with us, and you're going to trade with us, or we're going to come back and basically start shooting cannonballs at you. It's just like the fucking arrogance. The fucking right. arrogance of it it was one of those things that, I read books occasionally and I immediately forget everything in them, but every once in a while there's something that stands out, and the fucking arrogance of that, I just couldn't get past it.
Well, what do you make of it when people say, "Oh, China owns us"? That doesn't translate into anything for me. What do you mean China? They bought up our debt
on paper, but there's one of those things where. I think that was golden handcuffs, where now they got drawn into our horrific financial mistakes, and I think that's all part of some sort of brilliant plan to suck them into our economy and get everybody with the money with the same guy's face on it. They'll probably have George Washington on the front and one of their guys on the back, and that'll be the big battle. How come we're on the back? And then the philosopher's going to be like, well, there's really no front and back if you look at it. It just depends on where you're standing.
Right. But it doesn't mean anything for guys like you and me, right? We're just the...
I think it does. I think that would be a major shift if all of a sudden... I have empathy for all these countries that we occupy, and we sit there and we say that we're bringing them freedom and stuff, and even if that is just what we're doing, which I never believe in, I think, like, I saw how much they gave a shit about people in New Orleans. I saw how much they give a shit about people who got screwed by bankers and are upside down in houses right now that they'll never get out from underneath. I saw how much they care, and this is allegedly their own people. Mm-hmm. There's no way they give a shit about anybody. It always comes down to, like, it's a strategic point to put an army, or there's some sort of fluid in the ground that we want, or some sort of trees we want to cut down. It's an energy thing. It's a power thing. It's a strategic thing. And then they just dress it all up with, like, you know,
sure,
we just can't stand that you want to start a death metal band in that country, and your dictator won't allow you to do it. You know?
Right, yeah. It's never genuine, but they can't be that honest, right? And they can't be that honest without make it go smoothly. They can't say, hey, we're here to take what's yours.
Well, because they need regular people
behind
to
them.
Fight the war.
Right.
Because they're not going to go and do it. So what they have to do is give this righteous they have to have a good reason for doing it. And who knows? Maybe they actually believe it, but I don't know, man. I mean, you go into the average comedy club and there's all kinds of schemes and crap going on. And It's just like I don't feel like you get to it. Like, I love how people who aren't into conspiracy. First of all, immediately, the first thing they do when you say you're into conspiracy, they think, oh, you think there's flying saucers and aliens and all that. Like,
they make you out to be crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. And I always just say, well, this country came about through a conspiracy. That's how it came about. People conspired, and if they lost, they would have been hung for being a traitor.
Sure.
But we won, so now they're heroes.
And I think there's an effort, Bill, to make people. I think there's an effort coming from the top to say, hey, if you hear about conspiracy, they're crazy. I think that's intentional. I think that's a conspiracy right there. I think.
Well, I would actually argue that it's more. You are defined by your.
Beliefs?
No, you're defined by the least of you. It's like Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer's show has the worst example of every cross section of whatever you're going to do. The Southern man, the African American, the Asian, whoever. It's never going to be a good thing. And I feel like with like conspiracy theorists, you're going to be defined by those people, like that character Mel Gibson played in that movie where he drove the cab and he had all the conspiracies.
But do you think that there's a reason, there are people behind that to try and be like, look, if anybody starts telling you things aren't the way they are, look at these guys, look at these examples we put forward for you. And
I also think conspiracy theorists are annoying. Like, it's like you're having a good day, and then they come along, they tell you that the money isn't worth anything, saying how the sun is burning out, the polar ice caps are coming down, and you know, the Bushes are buying up land in South America. It's all on aquifers.
But at some point,
I have to take a break.
Yeah, but you have to hear it too, right? You can't just shut it all out. Otherwise, you're just living mindlessly, and you're like, I am living a good life.
You're not.
Be quiet, be quiet.
You're not.
You know?
You're not living mindlessly. I don't feel you are, because I think that it is. It's set up to. This is our destiny.
It's just whatever it is.
We're staring it into the sun.
You don't think we should fight for a better destiny, or try and control the one we have?
Yeah, no, I would never say don't do that, but that's not my lot in life. Like, I'm not I don't know how to organize something like that. All I know is how to read about this stuff, get informed on it, and then it makes you overwhelmingly depressed. Mm-hmm. You try to talk to people about it. Oh, are you one of them conspiracy theorists? Yeah, what's going on Saturn? And you're talking about banks.